All righty.
So, Miss, first off, how you doing tonight, sir?
I am wonderful, thank you. How about yourself?
We're doing fine, and we want to thank you and say, hey, we appreciate you taking your time out your busy schedule to speak with us tonight. First thing I want to get into, how did you get started in all of this?
Well, it's something. As a kid, I was on stage when I was 5 years old, and there was something about it because I got a lot of older brothers and sisters, and it's just something about it that finally the eyes were all on me for a change. And you don't think of it as a kid like that. But then I did some theater in high school, and then when I went to college, I went through art and music and English as a major, and I said, this is stupid. I know what I want to do.
Right.
So I declared my major as theater and got my degree from Notre Dame, and I have a bachelor's from Notre Dame. I have a master's from the University of Michigan. I taught for 2 years at Illinois State University, and then after a couple of years of being in L.A., actually, I got a scholarship to go to London to study at the London Shakespeare Academy through Ted Lance. And you know Teddy was the bartender on Love Boat, but Teddy got me a scholarship to study in London, and I went to London and studied at London Shakespeare Academy. But, when I finally moved to L.A. after I'd been teaching for 2 years in the university, it was like it was either New York or L.A., and I chose L.A., and, I went through the usual jobs, man. I went through, I was washing cars. I made reservations for cars. I drove cars, shuttle cars, just put bread on the table. And at nighttime, I was doing theater. So I would be rehearsing 2 plays at a time and performing one. And none of this was for any money. I didn't get paid, not even gas money.
Oh, wow.
It was love of the art, and through those connections that I started making, the guys who were producing and directing the plays, they moved into film, and they brought me along, gave me a line here, a line there, and that's how it really started.
So I see your first movie, according to IMDb, was Disco Grandfather. You were Stinger Ray.
No. Disco Grandfather? No, that's Disco Godfather.
Disco Godfather. I'm sorry.
Disco Godfather. Come on, man.
So
tell him to get it right.
Yes, my bad. So my question now is, the 5 heartbeats, of course, that people know you. How does it feel to, first off, to be part of an iconic film and to be such an iconic figure? Everybody knows that line. My office hours are from 9 to 5. So how does that even, I see you rolling out, how does that even, to have that stature about yourself?
And don't get the eye rolling wrong, because I never get tired of people coming up to me and saying that line. That line is said to me every day I walk out my front door.
Right.
Inevitably. And it's now it's not even black folks. It's Asian folks, Latinos, it's white folks. They all know that movie.
Yes.
So when I rolled my eyes, I was just playing. That's a blessing, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That, when people come up to me and talk to me about that film, anything that I do that people want to talk about, it's a blessing, because black folks have kept me going, man. And I say this all the time. Because there were times when I didn't have enough money to put 50 cents together, put gas in my pocket. I mean, in my gas tank. And some homeless person will walk up to me when I'm standing at the pump, and they would say, yo, man, keep up the good work. You represent. And they would walk away. And I would suck it up and say, okay, I'm going on another day.
Right on.
Black folks kept me going. And I say this to almost in every interview. I say, thank you, black people. I owe you, and I've worked my butt off for black folks, because you're the ones that kept me in this game.
Yeah, that was my next question.
If it wasn't for the black theater called the Inner City Cultural Center with C. Bernard Jackson, I wouldn't be here.
I can dig that. Sir, I'm looking at your IMDb, and it's saying that you got like 1, 2, 3, 5 things going on. You got EGB, The Real Godson, Go-Go Music, the movie, A Day in Trouble, Keys, Abandoned Act, Dirty Dead Con Man, and also I know you were just in Dallas recently, working with the TV series The Palace. So with it looked like that you still doing your thing even after all of this time, because what, 20 years, 30 years in the business?
Yes, sir. I better be working. I got bills to pay. When I go get me a steak at the grocery store, they don't say, "Oh, you ain't got no work. Okay, take it on."
Right.
If I ain't got money to pay for it, they say, "Take that back, boy."
How do you choose and select your characters? Is it something that you have to identify with, or something that you want to represent, or do you just pretty much just say, "Okay, this is what I want to do"?
Well, see, this is the thing about it. That's a very complicated question, because I'm an actor, and I can't turn down a lot of stuff. But I have turned down things in the past because I have a line. I don't use the N-word. I don't use it in my personal life ever.
Right.
And I don't use it on screen. So if the script calls for that, no, thank you, I'll pass on it. And I have passed on stuff because I just won't do it. And I'm not wearing a dress.
Right on.
Oh,
absolutely.
I feel you, bro.
I feel you, right.
We got some standards.
We should have standards.
Yeah, and see, I don't ask you to have my line. I ask you to have a line. At least have a line. It doesn't have to be mine. Mine is mine. I don't preach about what you should do, what everybody else should do. I just say, have a line. Say no to something. Is that what you?
I'm sorry.
So when somebody presents me with a character, I look at it and I say, I love playing a bad guy. It's got nothing to do with black men being bad guys, as long as there's a good black guy.
Right. In the whole thing, right. So is that what you pass on to younger actors? Because you have a lot of people that look up to you. You have a lot of people that you inspire. So are those the same things that you kind of mentor down towards them about? It's okay to say no, have a quality of standards that you go by?
Absolutely. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's an old saying.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, I tell people, I say, look, we have to take control of our own lives. And see, I'm very, very, very protective of black men because I'm so tired of black men being treated like dogs on that screen.
Right.
And the thing about it is that's not only for the U.S. That stuff goes around the world.
It does.
So when Koreans or somebody come over here, they see us on the screen, and that's who they think we are. They can treat us like a dog because that's what they saw in film and television and reading books, whatever it may be. We have to change that image because that's not who we are.
Right.
We are the founders of this world.
Yeah, it's like that art imitates life, and it's real because people that don't know anything about black culture will have this perception of this ideal of what is real, and it's something that's made up that is written in most cases by somebody that doesn't even look like us.
Exactly. You're exactly right. I couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah.
So going forward, as you know, there's a lot of independent films out here, especially in Dallas. Dallas is blowing up. I think Dallas is one of the leading cities with the most independent films. The problem is the money. What do you tell a young film writer or a young playwright about the finances of this business and how to get those finances to put their art on stage? Because you can have the dopest, you can have the greatest film on the face of the planet, but if you don't have the money to get it into theaters or get it edited correctly or put in production or going to screen festivals or anything like that, how do you tell them, how should they go about doing that?
See, here we go again. Were you asking complicated questions that this format, these few minutes that you're giving me don't lend themselves to easy answers?
He already told you he got a line.
Yeah. Don't ask questions that you don't want the real answers to, huh?
But see, the thing is, the fact that my background is coming from a theater where we have very little money to do things.
Right.
But when we did things, you would think that we had put $1 million into it.
Right.
Because it's not necessarily a lot of money, but how you spend the money you have. And yes, it costs money to do a film, a television. Yes, because it's like you talking about Dallas. They had to fly me down there.
Right.
They had to put me up.
Right.
And that's just me. And I don't fly coach.
I can dig that.
So they had to have enough money to do, but I didn't charge them an arm and a leg because it's black folks trying to do something with their life, and if I can help, I'll say, look, okay, this is how much money you got. Oh man, not again. But I wind up doing it.
I can dig that. So, sir, I need a favor from you, and then I got one more question for you. First off, can you look into the camera and say your name and ask and just tell people you're tuned in to the Benet Embry Show?
Okay, hold on, because my Skype just went down.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm back.
Hold on. Is it moving yet?
Yeah, we'll see it.
I guess it has a...
You see me on the...
Yeah, we see you, yeah, but the screen is frozen.
Yep, it went out, it went down.
But we got your face, so that's still good. If you could just say that for me, that's good enough for me.
We got your name.
Man, you and your ego, dude.
It's not the ego, it's promotion for the show.
Oh, I got you.
We got a major star on the show, so if he says, hey, you tuned into the Benet Embry Show, somebody that may decide to not to, Hawthorne James is on this show. He been on this show, so yeah, let's go ahead.
Oh, there you go. You back.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, now you back.
There you go.
But your phone is
I was
up.
technology savvy enough to do that much.
So if you wouldn't mind, sir, I would greatly appreciate it.
And what did you want me to say?
Your name and you're tuned in to the Benet Embry Show.
Benet Embry.
Yes, sir.
Ready. Hi, this is Hawthorne James. You know me from a lot of movies and television, and you're tuned into the Benet Embry Show. Peace and blessings to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Now that is dope.
That was
Thank you.
awesome, sir.
Yeah, on the first try.
Yeah.
On the first try.
Hey, man, that's experience.
Yeah.
Last question, and then we're going to let you go, sir, because I know you're busy. The state of black people in America, and you can take your time with this. And I would want, because me and you've had some conversations on the phone and, and everything. I want to hear your perspective from an older gentleman that's lived and went through some of these things. And if you can, give us some advice, because there's a whole bunch of things against the black people in America. We're killing each other. We're not educating each other. We're not teaching each other. We're breaking down in the family structure and household. We're getting away from, our religion. And then, so what are your thoughts on that?
Man, here you go again. When you ask me a simple question, what you have for breakfast this morning? No, it's bottom line for me. I mean, it's trying to give it a fairly simple, quick, which is really not. But one of the first things is we have to learn to trust each other and work with each other.
I agree.
That means putting your money into a black bank. That means going as much as possible to a black business and spending your money. At the same time, that black business has to learn how to make you feel welcome.
Right.
So that you want to come back.
Service.
It's like I spend my money when a lot of black businesses aren't around. Of course, you can't go to the grocery store, so you have to spend it at out here is Vons and Ralph's and Safeway. Mm-hmm. But when I go out and play, when I go hang out, I go straight to the hood.
Right on.
That's what the people I know are, and I take that Hollywood money and I spend it at least that much money. And then I find other black businesses that I can spend my money with. And it is a process. But we have to start working with each other. We have to start trusting each other. And so much more. Yeah, it's like me, I'm telling you the truth. I haven't watched football all year. The NFL,
Right.
I will not watch. I'm sitting in the bar, and I won't look up at the screen.
Right.
Because there's a point at which we have to learn to say no, and whether we like it or not, whether it's comfortable, we have to get out of our comfort zone and tell these people, no, we're not taking this crap anymore.
That's the same thing.
Amen.
My co-host said almost the very exact same thing last week.
I'm not watching. And they can go in and they can reinstate the man to do right. I'm still not gonna watch. It's a principle. You go treat us right.
And that's true. And I have found out that I'm not missing it that much anyway.
Right.
Right.
That much.
Yeah. I'll go paint or do something else. I got plenty of things I can do. I mean, so
There is a point, the people are talking about this week about P. Diddy wanting to start his own league. There is a point, that may be true or may not be, but there is a point at which we have to understand we will one day have to start our own league.
Right.
Yeah.
We did own baseball teams until integration came along.
Right.
And all of a sudden, we don't own them. We had to beg people to be managers. We owned baseball teams at one time.
And now it's just a whole bunch of Dominicans that are on
Right.
the teams. It's not even.
You're absolutely correct.
yeah.
Well, sir.
Out there begging people to, can we be a manager? Can we just get to play? No. We owned the teams. We were making money, and all of a sudden integration comes along. Jackie Robinson gets pulled in, and another couple get pulled in, and all of a sudden the black baseball teams are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And what I say is, and this is the way I look at it, is integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us because we owned businesses, etc. And what I mean by that, don't get it twisted. What I mean by that, instead of integration, it should have been a merger. If you look at the baseball, we lost our baseball teams. Instead of merging with the existing the white teams, we could have merged. It's like the AFL and the NFL.
Right.
When they decided they didn't want to compete anymore, they merged. They didn't.
Right.
The AFL didn't lose. Those owners did not lose their teams. They merged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They
We
consolidated
can't
power.
integrate. We have to merge.
Yeah.
And if we don't merge, then adios. That's what I mean when I say integration was the worst thing that happened to us. We should have had a merger, and that's not on the agenda.
No, sir. You're absolutely correct.
Go back to depending on ourselves.
That being said, sir, when do you do back in Dallas?
I'm hoping because they're supposed to have the second episode ready to go by the end of the month, beginning of November.
Will
So
that be?
hopefully I'll be back in Dallas because this is a really good series.
It is.
It's starting off to be really great. Also, I did one in Houston, which is really good. So both of them. So one of them's got to go.
Well, that being said, sir, we talked on the phone. When you are in town, any Monday that you are in town, you are more than welcome to come up here, sit down with us, talk with us. I would love to absorb some of you because you have myself. I'm a budding actor. You have an actress and Dion Q sitting right there. We would love to just soak up some of your knowledge and get some of your wisdom so we can go forward with our careers and just to be, just to enjoy your essence and your presence.
Oh, you know what? I that would be my pleasure because I'm telling you, I had a TV interview today and it was 50 minutes long, and it was 50 minutes that just went by just like this. Because sometimes I don't realize it. There's more knowledge in my head than I realize because I have done everything in this business, including being one of the highest black executives in Hollywood at a major film studio.
Right.
And I don't want to go 6 feet under without imparting that knowledge to you and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
I want this knowledge. I want you to take it out of here and use it. What good is it to illuminate with me and I'm gone?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I want to have it.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, absolutely.
Well, sir,
Absolutely. If you're serious about your craft, if you're serious about doing something, then I'm telling you, when I was in Dallas, I ain't making no money in Dallas. But it's black folks who are trying to do something positive. And I said, okay, I'm coming.
right on.
Gotcha.
That's
We
awesome.
appreciate
Well, thank you.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and yeah, we do. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I wish we could keep going. I got to let you go. But for
Okay.
real, when you get down here, we are looking forward. If I have to come pick you up myself, I'll come pick you up and take you wherever you want to, wherever you need, just as long as you get here from 8 to 10 to make sure you're okay, brother.
His office hours are 9 to 5.
Yeah. Don't play.
Thank you for your time tonight, sir. We greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, guys.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you
Thank you.
so
Have a
much.
blessed evening.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that is the legendary Hawthorne James. You're tuned in live to the Benet Show. We're finna hit you with a break, and then we'll be right back.
Cut the cake out of me. Cut the cake out of me. Cut the cake.